According to reports and pending a physical, the Giants have agreed to terms to bring back wide receiver Darius Slayton for the 2023 season. It's all brought to you by Primepoint. I am John Schmeelk, joined by Paul Dottino. And Paul, Darius Slayton, he's a four-year Giant, heading into his fifth year in the league, all with Big Blue. He's one of Daniel Jones's favorite targets. He's been with him on this team for quite a while, same draft class, and now they'll be back together again next year.
You know, John, I think you just mentioned the key. The fact that he's been with Daniel Jones during all 4 years of both of their careers. Slayton, of course, going into number 5 now, staying with the Giants, was a former fifth-round pick. And what we know about Darius is he stretches the field. I mean, you're talking about 3 of his first 4 years in the NFL. He had a minimum of 40 catches in each of those seasons and averaged at least 15 yards a catch in each of those 4 seasons. When he came out of school, he had sub 4.4 speed, and he was in the top 6% of speed burners at the wide receiver position at that combine. So he has always been a guy who could get deep, who was able to outrun people. And again, the connection with Jones, to me, is probably very significant here.
Yeah, he had that touchdown against Jacksonville to open up that game this season for the Giants. You play him one-on-one, he can run by you, he can stack you, and he can make those plays down the field. And Paul, look, I think that's been a theme here as we've moved ahead with this Giants offseason. This Giant front office seems really transfixed on trying to add speed to this wide receiver core, and bringing Slayton back only adds to that.
Well, this past season, he actually had a career high in average yards per target at 10 yards a target. They did try to get him the ball a little bit further downfield. He also had a career high 5.7 yards after the catch per reception. So there's little doubt that he did provide another spark and another step forward, that he had not necessarily done earlier by putting up a couple of those very nice deep threat career numbers. Now, he does, of course, want to improve his consistency. I don't think he would deny that if you had a chance to talk to him. But the truth of the matter is, over the last several years, he has been the Giants' best deep threat. And, Daniel Jones and Joe Schoen had conversations when that deal was extended and redone, when Jones got his second contract. And both of them have said they talked about how the Giants could move forward. Well, I'm sure that Daniel Jones probably mentioned some nice things about Darius Slayton in those conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder too, Paul, if his familiarity with the offense here, as you do rework the skill position group, whether it's, Darren Waller via trade, the reported potential, according to reports, signing of Paris Campbell, all of these things, you bring in a lot of new pieces. You probably want some people there and veterans that can kind of help that group along. Sterling Shepard's back, and now Slayton's back as well, or could be back as well. So I think having those guys in-house along with Wan'Dale Robinson to help these new guys along is probably also a factor here.
Yeah, I'm sure it probably is. The comfort zone. And it's interesting. Slayton's 6'1", Campbell's a 6-footer, Smith is a 6-footer. The Giants did get a little bit taller in the wide receiver room. Their average height is going to be a little bit taller in that room than it has been for the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I think they've built out the room nicely, Paul, and they've kind of, thrown a lot of numbers and speed at the group. And I think that we talked last year about how this team had to get more explosive plays through the air. And I think we're seeing that play out here in what they've done in free agency, guys that can make explosive plays, whether down the field in Slayton, run after the catch of Paris Campbell. They all have speed that can make those types of plays.
And let's not forget, Slayton as a rookie, when he came out of Auburn, caught 8 touchdown passes that first season. Maybe he hasn't had as many opportunities in the end zone since then, but this is a player who has found a way to get into the end zone in the past.
Yeah, 3 of his 4 years in the league, more than 700 receiving yards, 15 touchdowns over those 4 seasons. So the Giants hope he can bring that type of production back to the field in 2023. For Paul Dottino, I'm John Schmeelk. It's all brought to you by Primepoint. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time as we continue to guide you through free agency 2023.